All right, welcome to conference. This week we're celebrating our anniversary still all month, every day for the month of July. And next month, just a little heads up for everyone, we will be reading Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, so get a copy of the book and read the preface. But this week, since I'm still having fun with our anniversary, I decided to share with all of you what's important to me as a teacher. I think what's unique about Pacific Ashtanga Yoga Shala and sort of the space that we hold for all of you here. So I'm calling this In Yoga and in Life. So I'm going to go over 11 things that are important to me, and I want you to remember all the things I say have to do with the practice, but each one of them has the same application to your life. So they're called Diana's Anniversary Hopes, Tips, and Intentions. Number 1, always practice balance. So all of you are very dedicated. So I said practice, dedication, discipline, balanced with surrender and joy. So you're all Ashtangis, so I know that you're kind of driven and successful and you want to do it right, and you know, and I see that on the mat so much. But for me, it's so important that we always keep that in balance. Like, yeah, we come here and we're serious and we try hard, but we also want to just like let things go and be joyful and enjoy the process. Number 2. Breath is your number 1 fuel. So make specific commitments and goals for your breath in your practice and in life. So really this year I say number 1, I'm your breath teacher, is find somewhere in your practice that you're not breathing at your full capacity or you're not bringing attention to your breath. Usually it's when something is hard, that we can really focus on being better breathers, and then do the same in life. Find out where in your life you're not a good breather. You know, is it when you're stressed, or when you're driving somewhere, when it's something that you do at work that you realize, and make a specific goal that you're going to breathe better in that situation. What? So this is a quote. Loosen your toes. Who said it? Guruji. He always said, loosen your toes. A lot of times people didn't know what he was trying to say. So lift the toes and root down deep into the floor, to the ground, from the inside into the depth of your body and your soul, and find depth in your rooting. So become your biggest and most expansive self through that. So one of the things we always know we have a Pacific Ashtanga student is when I see that their toes are lifted and wherever their pose they're in, they're extending. But really it's the same in life. Like we have our little boxes on, tied, and we don't know what's going on in those boxes, but we have the healthiest core and the best structure when we're really rooting through the feet and pulling up through that. And when we do that, we do our Amy Cuddy stance, our Wonder Woman stance, and we really show up for life kind of in a bigger, more expansive way as well. So rooting in yoga and in life. The next one, the asana serves you. You do not serve the asana. Ask the question, is the pose serving me and how? Always assess and reassess. Modify your pose. It is your pose. Try to do the same with relationships, work, etc., etc. So we have to constantly do that, whether you're a new student and you're going into, you know, I use the example of one of the half lotuses, like we're all trying to grab our toes in the half lotus, like that's the destination. But the destination is it benefits you. So the destination is about opening your hip. But if I'm trying to get my toes so much that I injure my knee, then this pose didn't serve me. I was trying to serve the pose and it didn't serve me. So we're always assessing that in everything we do, in Padmasana or balancing poses, just always looking at like, what do we hope to get from this pose? And make that the goal rather than some grabbing your wrist. It's just meant to open our shoulders more, open our chest more, get more breath through the heart when we try to do these different things. And it's the same in life. I think sometimes we lose sight of what we're really doing, and it could be an aspect of a relationship we're in or an aspect of our work where we realize we're serving that rather than it serving us. So I think always asking that question is, how is this relationship serving me? Or how is this thing I'm doing in this relationship serving me right now? And if you can't answer that it's serving you, then we need to change something. So it's a good question to constantly ask ourselves. The practice is a dance. Enjoy moving with it, move forward, enjoy change, move back, witnessing every day, observing, practice, effort, balanced with non-attachment. So this is a really important one for me because I think as Ashtangis we're always like, you know, I've got to grab this and then I got to get the next pose, and we're very linear, like the Energizer Bunny going, rrr, 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 rather than thinking like, today I might, today I might step back rather than jump back. Today I might use the wall when I do balancing. All of these different modifications that we can do, just depending how our body is feeling, depending on how our heart's feeling, all of that. And this same in life, just realizing life isn't linear, nothing in our life is linear, and the more we can accept that and go, today I move forward and tomorrow I move back a little bit, and then the next day I move to the side a little bit, right, or over here, and the more we just kind of become more fluid in that, the more we just enjoy the aspects of not just our practice, but the little aspects of our life. Next, here's another quote for you. Yes, you doing tomorrow. I did it with my accent. Yes, you doing tomorrow. Who said that? Again, Pattabhi Jois said, yes, you doing tomorrow. Oh, I loved it because sometimes he would be trying to adjust you in a pose and you weren't quite getting it or you were super tight and he would say, yes, tomorrow you doing, and walk away. And it was as if to say, like, we would know it might take me a decade to do this pose, right? Or maybe never. But it was this very loving way to be like, let it go, no worries, there's always tomorrow, So again, in yoga as in life, for us to just have that, I'm trying and here I am doing this, but it's like, yeah, there's always tomorrow, for anything really. Next is move from your core. Bandhas build strength and create lightness. Take them home with you. So I can't say that enough. It's this physical thing that we do in our practice, but when we're driving our cars and standing in the way that we walk and do everything is to think of being strong in your center and move into lightness and grace. And it brings so much health. If I could give everyone one thing to do in the general public, it would be to engage their bandhas and get stronger in their core. I think I forgot one earlier on, so I'm going back up through my list. Work in the invisible at least as hard as the visible. Who said that? Debbie's been getting them all right. Rumi said that. It's from a larger poem, and I love it. I wrote under this one, practice mindfulness rather than mindless, bringing consciousness to practice in life. So this is really our training ground, that we're breathing and moving in a synchronized pattern in order to focus the mind and just be present here. It's our moving meditation. But the more we do this here, then the more I can do that in my life. So when you're a beautiful RN and you're working with people that are sick, you're right there and they're fully present with them. People know that. People know when you're looking them in the eye and you're really listening to people. It's such a beautiful gift to give, whatever, to our daughters, to our children, to our spouses, to our friends, just to the person you meet at the supermarket. How many times have you been with someone and they're just, I'm guilty of this too, when they're just like looking at their phone or you're talking to them, but you can tell they're not really paying attention to you. They're looking another way or, so it's such a gift to give someone, to be fully present for them and 100% there. And we really train that on our mat. I have two more, and these two are very important to me. The first one is maintain your joy, practice smiling and laughing whenever possible. I think in yoga as in life. So we're serious Ashtangis, but also we just kind of want to, this one over here you can't see on the camera makes me giggle all the time. And it's good. It reminds me, we're trying our hardest, but we're also like laughing at ourselves. It's great in life and practice. Okay, now there's really two more. Respect and honor yourself. Remember to tell yourself, what a great job you're doing. We don't do that enough. In the yoga practice, I see so often everyone's so critical of themselves. I can see it in their faces sometimes, and I can see it in the effort. And oftentimes, I see people leaving the practice, and I just want to say, you did such a great job. And I say that as often as possible, but we need to tell ourselves that. Just showing up today, you did a great job, No matter what else happens on the mat, you did a great job because you all made it here from your busy lives. But really try to practice that, during the practice at different times, to just say, darn, I'm doing a good job, Or practice that in life too, doing anything. Just stop and go, you know what? I'm doing good here. Acknowledge that. And lastly, I want to use this as a new ritual here at Pacific Ashtanga Yogashala. Finish each practice with a thank you. Every practice has a gift, an opportunity to acknowledge your incredible health and blessings. So traditionally we finish with our hands in a prayer position and we bring it to our heart, our fourth chakra. And then oftentimes I know, I notice a lot of you do this as well. We touch our forehead, our sixth chakra as well. I would like to add to that just visual, that physical thing that we do that's sort of a mudra for us, to add the words, thank you. But I wanted to have something follow it. Every day, like I could say, thank you for everyone who came to class today. I could say, thank you that we got to look at the ocean today. Thank you for my health. Thank you that my mom's here. Anything. Every day I want you to find one thing at the end of your practice to be grateful for when you do this. And make that a part of every time you come here that you finish with gratitude. Very specific gratitude. And if it works here, take it to your life. And more often, just randomly in your life, go like this and just say, thank you for this yummy gelato. Thank you. I get to spend time with Melanie, practice gratitude. So as always, I hope for everyone who's on our extended family at the YouTube channel and all of you here today to take this 1.5 hours of this practice into the other, however many are left, right? Every bit of it, take this practice into the other 23 hours of your life to be the best version of yourself. Namaste.